Hi, grade 7s. So today we're going to be talking about personification and hyperbole. And then when we're done, I will explain the assignment that goes with this for today. Personification and hyperbole are both literary devices. Sometimes we also see them in poetry as well. And you should be fairly familiar with both. So this lesson is going to be very short and sweet. So here we go. So personification happens in writing when the writer gives human qualities to an animal, object, or idea. So these can be how the writer describes the animal, object, or idea. It can be maybe some verbs or adjectives they might use in their writing. So we're going to look at some examples now. So here is a small two sentences on a storm, and I'm going to read it to you, and you're going to see if you can find the personification being used. So the example is, the storm slept for 2 days before coming back to life. It then ate up the coast. So there are two examples of personification there that are being used to describe the storm and give it human-like qualities. The first one is the writer describes the storm as sleeping. It says the storm slept for 2 days. So that's an example of personification. The second one is in the next sentence when the writer describes the storm as eating up the coast. Again, we know storms can't sleep or eat, but that is how the author is personifying the storm. The next example is the little arrow runs across the computer screen. So in this example, the little arrow is being personified by the word runs, and it's being given a human-like quality because the writer has used that verb to describe the arrow. So again, can lightning scream? Can a storm sleep or eat? Can a mouse arrow run? We know obviously in real life no, but these are ways that writers describe certain objects in order to give them human-like qualities and personify them. So we're going to look at a poem right now and see if we can find personification in this poem. And this poem is called Mirror, and it is by Sylvia Plath. It says, I am silver and exact. I have no preconceptions. Whatever I see, I swallow immediately. Just as it is, unbiased by love or dislike. I am not cruel, only truthful. So in the poem that we see a lot of personification of the mirror, particularly in the third line of the poem, when the writer is talking about the mirror and saying, whatever I see, I swallow immediately. We know that a mirror can't see or swallow, and that is kind of showing us how the mirror is being personified by Plath in this poem. So there is a worksheet on personification, and I have included it with the assignment, and I'll explain it at the end. We're going to move on now to hyperbole. So as we know, hyperbole is when an author uses extreme exaggeration. Often this is in order to create a humorous effect in writing. Some examples we've heard before of that would be examples of hyperbole are, I died laughing, I knocked on the door a million times, John was so scared that he jumped out of his skin. Again, these things would not literally happen, but they create exaggeration in the sentences. We also see this in jokes. For example, that song is so old, the last time I heard it I was riding a dinosaur. Again, not likely to happen nowadays, but an example of where the writer is using extreme exaggeration to make their point that that song is very old. We also use hyperbole typically in everyday conversations that we might have with one another. Some of these are some statements maybe you've heard someone make to you in conversation. For example, don't have a cow, I'm so hungry I could eat a horse, this homework is killing me, or ugh, this backpack weighs a ton. I've also included a video in the PowerPoint, and it is about different examples of hyperbole in popular television shows and movies that you may be familiar with. So I will attach the PowerPoint to the assignment, and you can watch that if you'd like. And then I'm going to explain the assignment to you now, and it does include a section on hyperbole as well. So starting with personification, there's part 1 and a part 2. It's very straightforward. Part 1 says underline the personification in each sentence. So where you see that the writer has given the object in the sentence human-like qualities, you'll just underline that part, and you'll do that for those 5 examples there. Part 2 is complete the sentence using a verb in order to show personification of the object. So for example, in number 1, it says daisies blank in the wind. So try to find a verb that would personify daisies that you could put in there. Parts 3 and 4 are just about hyperbole. So in part 3, you're just going to use the following writing prompt to create hyperbole in the sentence. So I'm so angry, and then end the sentence with an exaggerated statement that would fit the beginning part of those sentences. And there are 4 of those to do. Part 4 is just you're going to create your own rap song about how awesome you are using hyperbole. I've given you an example. Please don't use the example from above as your own, because I will definitely return the assignment to you and ask you to redo it. We can see from the example at the top, I think that the writer of this rap has used 5 different couplets. I'm only expecting 3 or 4 couplets from you, but make sure that those 3 or 4 couplets, depending on what you choose to do, contain hyperbole. That means they should have statements in them that are exaggerated. So that is the assignment for today. If you have any questions, please mess me in the classroom, comment on the assignment, send me a Gmail. Remember to reach out if you're having any problems at all with assignments. I'm pretty quick to get back. And also, the grade 7 English office hours from 1 to 2, so even if you need me to hop on Google Meet and explain the assignment, I don't have a problem doing that. That's it for today. Good luck, and we'll be chatting soon. Bye.